You know that feeling, right? That knot in your stomach on a Sunday evening? That sense of dread creeping in about the work week just around the corner? Look, we've all felt work-related stress, but what happens when that stress becomes something more? When it's not just a passing feeling, but a deep-seated, totally overwhelming fear? Well, that's exactly what we're digging into today.
Yeah, we joke about the Sunday scaries all the time. But for some people, the anxiety tied to their job is, well, it's debilitating. It's persistent. It goes so far beyond a typical case of the Mondays. So you have to ask, at what point does normal work anxiety cross the line and become a genuine phobia?
So, this condition, it actually has a name, ergophobia. Let's get right into what this intense fear of the workplace is all about.
Now, the crucial thing to get here is that ergophobia isn't just, not liking your job. The key words are intense and irrational fear. This could be a fear of the actual physical workplace or just crippling anxiety about your performance or feeling the crushing weight of your responsibilities. This is a recognized phobia, and trust me, its impact can be absolutely profound.
Okay, so where does a fear like this even come from? I mean, it rarely just appears out of nowhere, right? Let's unpack some of the common roots of this fear.
What's really fascinating is how these causes often weave together. Maybe a past negative experience, like a really toxic boss, plants that first seed of fear. Then, that can just blossom into a much broader fear of failure in general. Throw some social anxiety into the mix, and suddenly the workplace feels like a constant threat. And in some cases, ergophobia is really just a specific way a more generalized anxiety disorder shows up.
All right, understanding the causes is one thing, but how does this fear actually show up day to day? Let's try to distinguish the real signs of ergophobia from the kind of typical pressures we all feel at work.
This comparison really nails the critical difference. Normal stress is often temporary. Heck, sometimes it can even motivate you to get a project done. But ergophobia? That is a whole different beast. It's a pervasive anxiety that leads to avoidance, not action. This is a fear so intense that it can completely disrupt a person's ability to function.
So let's get really specific about these symptoms. We're talking about an anxiety so strong it can make it literally impossible to concentrate. The avoidance isn't just procrastination, it's calling in sick out of pure dread. And this isn't just something in your head. The physical reactions are very, very real, from a racing heart to feeling sick to your stomach at just the thought of a meeting. And the consequences here are really serious. I mean, think about it. When you're actively avoiding work or you're unable to perform because of this fear, that's naturally going to hit your career progression. And that, in turn, can mess with your financial stability. But maybe the most damaging part is the hit to your self-confidence, which just creates this vicious cycle that's so hard to break.
Okay, so after hearing all the causes and the symptoms, it's easy to feel a little overwhelmed. But, and this is the crucial message, there is absolutely a path forward. Let's talk about treatment and the real hope for managing ergophobia.
So the path to managing this usually involves a few things working together. Therapy, especially cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, is huge for helping people challenge and reframe those irrational thoughts that are driving the fear. Then you'd pair that with learning practical coping strategies, things you can actually do to manage stress in the moment. Then, through gradual exposure, a person can take small, manageable steps to re-engage with work, rebuilding their confidence piece by piece. And yeah, in some cases, medication can be a really valuable tool to manage severe symptoms, which then allows all the other therapies to really take hold.
And this really is the key takeaway, isn't it? It's not about toughing it out or telling yourself to just get over it. It's about getting the right kind of support. Because with that in place, it is totally possible to reduce this anxiety and rebuild that confidence that ergophobia so often just chips away at.
And that brings us to a final thought. While individuals can and should seek treatment, this whole topic raises a much bigger question for all of us. As colleagues, as managers, as leaders, what's our role in all of this? How can we help create professional environments where mental health is actually understood and where people feel safe enough to ask for help before their fear becomes debilitating? It's definitely a question worth thinking about.